soundtrack, Radiosurgery, which I may need to delete this season out of my head once it's over. This could be a long, frustrating one, but it is what it is. Season 23. Moving on from Ann Arbor to Lexington. Sorry, Jason, but we already talked about it on instant message. We'll see what happens with both of us this season. But I'm making my first trip down to the SEC. Really surprised that I haven't been there yet. It's probably not going to go all that well. We'll see how it goes. This video will be one of 3 previewing the season in third. So this one I'm just going to focus on out of conference and take a look at who I play, kind of a little background going into the game, and we'll see how they turn out. So looking at, I think I showed my history, Kentucky's history. Kentucky's is not very good. I think I have more wins than they have in their entire NDL existence. So hopefully I can add a few here. You can see the Commonwealth Stadium, the monster SEC East, headlined by Florida and South Carolina, which will both beat the crap out of us. And even though AJ says no, I also say he will beat the crap out of me too. We will try to keep from getting 35 in those games. But let me zoom out here so you can see the full schedule. 2 byes in the middle. Sorry, Nick. AD needs a break. Pretty sure an important game comes out around that time, so I need less distracting games. Or need to kind of take a break from football for a couple of weeks to get it out of my system. So those 4 there, minus Florida. Those first 4, those will be the ones I'll be focusing on in this video. So let's go ahead and get started with a home game against the almighty Colorado Buffaloes. Still don't know how their grades would be minus, but whatever. Coach Donkey, love you. I still don't understand why you've got this team. It is what it is, though. This made-up rivalry between Colorado and Nebraska. Colorado trying to make themselves feel relevant in the NCAA. There is no rivalry. There is no reason for there to be one. Let me just get that out there now. But anyway, it's a team I dislike the most in college football for many reasons, that being one, personal reasons being another. I just don't like this team. So after dodging Donkey in the cup and haven't scrimmed him yet, which is surprising, but we're going to go ahead and finally get our first game on the new game out the way. You can see Colorado's history, not bad. I believe they got 1 or 2 conference championships mixed in. I can't see because my screen's a little smaller on the computer. And look at Donkey. A couple seasons here. I think this is 4th or 5th, and he'll be hitting double digits, so congrats on that. And for us defensively, it's going to start and end with Rodney Stewart. Passing game will be one thing. He will be a total different matter altogether. He can run the ball. He can catch the ball out the backfield. He's a dynamic player. For all that Colorado does or doesn't have, they have one hell of a running back, and we're going to have to do our best to try to keep him corralled from breaking the big runs. He's going to be able to get consistent plays. We have to stop the big ones. And our offense, Donkey has done a good job playing me defensively, schematically, in our brief history of games played. So we got to protect the ball. And we can't get sacked. We can't put ourselves in long situations. So what we're looking to get out of this game, protect the ball, control the line of scrimmage, and we'll see how that goes. Game 2, the little bet that some people may or may not have seen. If I lose, I will have to become a regular poster of the female forum. This could be bad. If I win, he will have to buy Call of Duty. He hates shooters. I plan on him playing a lot of Call of Duty with me and with the rest of the NDL and buying me banana ice cream. So, yeah, big game for both of us. Just adds a little emphasis. He's yet to beat me in the NDL. Just throwing that out there. So for those of you scared of me joining the female forum, at least have that hope there. But Coach Rock loves to run the ball and run the ball some more and run it some more. Looking at the history of G-Tech there, VT has a lot to do with it. Waiting for Crows to finally fall off from Virginia Tech. And Coach IRock couple seasons in, started out as Mr. 500, and then some stuff happened, and he's not. So at least I would like to help give him another loss to put him one game under to start. But he's got running backs, and they're fast. He's got fullbacks, and they are also fast. And I know he won't admit to it, but a key factor in this game could be the quarterback. He had Jake's last season at Western Kentucky. He may be the worst quarterback that I have ever seen in any video game football ever, period. No. For us, it's all about trying to stop the run. Scrambles, option, dives, stretches, anything. Any type of way to run the ball, flex bone, wishbone, he's going to do it, so we got to be ready for it. What we got to do is put him in third and longs. We have to make him pass the ball, and when he does, we have to be able to take advantage of it. We know he's going to look at the short stuff. That's how he plays. That's how it's always been. We're going to have to force the issue and pressure him into turnovers and get some big stops. Then on the other hand, offensively, we pass the ball. He knows we pass, and he's had a hard time stopping that just as we have with the run. So when we have the pass plays there, we're going to have to take advantage, and the goal is always try to get a lead and force him to put the ball in the air. Well, that's into block one, and we start block two with a road game against Syracuse and Coach Bearass. Took a 2-season break as far as playing each other, but now since we're both back in mediocrity, the rivalry is back on. We played each other so many times. I really don't know what I could say about how to beat the other person, how either one of us is going to beat the other person. This comes down to who can make the most plays. That's all it's ever came down to, other than some with him having Oklahoma and having a talent advantage and me having Nebraska when he didn't and having a talent advantage. It's about as close to even as we've had for a while, so we're going to see how it's going to be here. And you can see Syracuse's history and Coach Bearass a few seasons short of being a lifer in the NDL. So we'll have our work cut out for us. We know offensively he would like to run the ball. He had a hard time doing Oklahoma, as we talked about. He's got a pretty solid stable of backs. He will run the ball. He will also pass the ball, too. He's got a good receiver there. And I know he was joking about him being a Heisman candidate, but it would not surprise me. He loves to pass the ball. I am also personally aware of he will throw to the tight end, even though he's not a great rated player. But he spreads the ball around, and he likes the tight end. But for us, offensively, protect the ball. The big plays for us have always come in the pass game. We've got to hit them when they're there, take advantage, and try to get an early lead. And our last out-of-conference game will be the battle for the Governor's Cup against Louisville and Coach KRG on the road. I do not like Louisville. Hatred's not as bad as it is for Colorado. Nonetheless, I don't like this team either. So extra motivation, and you can also add in the fact that looking at the rivalries page, thanks Mr. NC State Tech guy, you can look and see that Louisville was going to pop up here in a second, a little ahead of myself, but you'll see that they have won an awful lot. No, Carl Wayne won a few. It would be nice to get Kentucky on the board a little bit more because it's a really skewed rivalry. You can see Louisville's history. Carl Wayne, like I said, had a lot to do with that. Had a couple of good seasons, really good. And Coach KRG, NDL vet. And, yeah, you can see a lot of red. It'd be nice to be able to keep the Kentucky streak going. And then also on KRG, we played last season, mismatch as far as talent between Michigan and Bowling Green. Our first ever game against each other was in Conference USA, and it was a lot closer, so I expect the same. Good quarterback. We don't have the speed in Michigan to sit there and close open holes that were there, so we're going to have our work cut out for us trying to stop the pass game, and on the other side we're trying to control the line of scrimmage on defense and offense. So it's the end of the first video. I'll have the next one up tomorrow, hopefully.